Good morning, students. In today's class, we are going to discuss how do you combine LabVIEW with Python. See, LabVIEW is a very user-friendly graphical user interface-based program. As you can see on the screen, this is a LabVIEW screen. I give it a name, test first python.vi. You can create beautiful screen like this for analytics, especially in machine learning and artificial intelligence. Whereas all the programs, most of the good libraries of artificial intelligence and neural networks, etc., come in Python. Now you need to combine these two. How do you do that? In simple words, I am going to explain to you combining the Python code which you see on the left side, which you call from the LabVIEW screen. See, what you see on the screen is a combination of both the things, how you are going to program in LabVIEW as well as in Python, and how do you combine these two. See, as you can see, the Python program which you see right now is a simple program which is a function. The function name is f2c with an argument c. So that means when you pass a number into this through c, it gets added by 2.1 because f is equal to 2.1 plus c, and it returns a float type of variable, a real number, that is return of. That means if I pass 1 from here, you will get 2.1 plus 1, that is 3.1 returned. That's all. So if you want to test that, you can go to the run mode and you can always say f2c in bracket 1. So you get 3.1, you can see on the screen. The same thing, how do you achieve this in LabVIEW? How do you call this function in LabVIEW? So the Python program, you need not keep it open, it will be in the background, and the front end you will see only the LabVIEW screen, what you see on the screen. Like when you type 1 here, you will get 3.1. Suppose I give 2 here, then run the program, you get 4.1. How do you achieve this? In order to do this, what you did is to create a small LabVIEW program. You press Ctrl E like this, then you come into the programming mode of LabVIEW. So what you do is you right click. See the program which I have already created to do this, but I will again go through it on the right hand side, how to create each and every block. For example, you go into the connectivity, go into Python, and you say open Python. You get a block like this. Another again, you go into connectivity, go to the Python, then also close Python session. So that means opening and closing Python session like this. So if you want to see the labels, you can see this is the same thing which I had drawn earlier. Now you also need to bring in something called a Python in node, which is nothing but the program which you are going to execute is going to be executed by this block. Now you can see that here in the open Python session, what it is, if you want to see, you can press Ctrl H. It will give you the details about what this block contains. You have to fill in the Python version inside. And if you go here, you can also see the help for the Python node. Python node, what all things you have to fill in, that is most important thing. I will explain you in detail. So like I said, here you right click and create a constant. You can type in, you are using the Python version 3.6, because you remember the Python version which you were using was 3.6 version. You can see it here. Now The LabVIEW version which you are using, you can see it is LabVIEW 2018. Now I press Ctrl E, go to the white screen, so called the block diagram screen. So now you are going to connect each one of them. The first thing is you have to interconnect the blocks like this through a daisy chaining. This is a standard thing which you do in LabVIEW programming. The error out will be connected to the error in. So this is usual thing which you do. Now the next thing you say is module path. In the module path, what you do is you create a constant. So it is asking where your file is sitting. So you can see that the Python program is sitting in so-called C users admin downloads the directory called mnist_keras. Then function name is f2c.py. So how do you do that? How do you say that the program is sitting there? So what you do is you take the entire Python file path and put it here. Now you have the Python path specified, module name. Now you are being asked what is the function name. What is the function name? So right click, create a constant. The function name is, now you can see what is the function name, f2c, and with an argument. So what you do is you just go into the program window and say here f2c. f2c is your function name, and there is an argument also. The argument can be filled in by pulling this one down. So that means the first argument you have to give here. So how do you do that? To give an argument you have to have a control created. So Ctrl E, you right click, you can create a numeric control by putting it here. So this numeric control, if you click this, you can bring it here and you can connect this as the argument C. This is your C right now, C. Now here another most important thing what you have to do is you have to tell what this module is going to, what program is going to return. Return f. F is what data type? It is a float. So it's a real number. So it's a double number. So for that what you have to do is you have to tell this program the type of the variable. So what you do, go to numeric and say double constant, and you can wire this that you are saying the data type is going to be real. The output is going to come out from here. I can simply create an indicator to see the value of f. So what you can do, you can simply, this is the f which is coming out. So this is how you are having the program created for converting C to f. Now same thing I have made here in a bigger font. So I just for demonstration purpose I had recreated it for you. So I go to the program and I delete all these things because all these things are already created here for you. Same thing, why to do it 2 times? Then the program was looking like this. I put it to a paint and this is how it looks like. Now to execute this program, what you do is you just put a number which you are interested in, that is let's say 3. So what this program will do, it will come here and it will, so the same thing I have drawn it in a bigger way in a notepad. So if I pass 3 plus 2.1, 5.1 will be returned. So go to the program. I am going to run it. So after running, you get 5.1. Suppose I make it 4, you get 6.1. If I make it 0, you get 2.1. So this is how you can create a program. Now LabVIEW as such is very good for analytics. The program, you can, same thing, you can do everything in Python or everything in LabVIEW, but combining these two has got its own advantage. It is like two different family of programming languages, and each one has got its own power. Now let us say I would like to instead of passing the number from here, I want to automatically increment this value from 0 to 9. Let us say, then in LabVIEW there is something called a loop, n loop. You can put it across and you can give n value as 9. That means n is equal to 10. So that means the I value will be incremented from 0 to 9. So what you can do is, you can now remove this numeric thing. So instead of, I can delete this, and what I can do is I can simply connect I to here, so that it will vary from 0 to 9. So now if you really want to see what is coming in the value of I on the screen, I can just convert this into an indicator. So that means the I value will also be displayed on the screen. So what you are going to see now on the screen is, this is something which you cannot, this is not a control, you cannot write anything, you cannot feed any number, it will be simply returned. So it will be simply. Now if I run this program, you see that it is going on very fast. So if I want it to come very slow, I can put a small delay of 1000 milliseconds. So I can create a constant of 1000 milliseconds. Then you will see that the program behaves slow. See that each and every value it goes into the Python function, executes and returns it back into the LabVIEW. But as such, I said the LabVIEW is a very good language for displaying an analytics. Now suppose I want to see this data which is coming, I want to display in the form of a graph. So what I can do, I can simply pull in a chart like this. Chart looks like that, and I can simply connect the output of this return value into this. So you can see that as I run this program, you will see that how the screen is going to change. See, 1, 2, 3, 4 with respect to time, how it is changing, you can display it. So this way you are able to combine the LabVIEW and Python together. I hope this will be a very useful example to use call machine learning algorithms into LabVIEW using Python, TensorFlow and Keras libraries. Thank you.